it's hard to get this thing off and put it on at the same time. So, I got to see the new Halloween movie, and it was just so amazing. So, this is the direct sequel to John Carpenter's horror masterpiece. This takes place 40 years after the original movie. So, for the past 40 years, Michael Myers has been locked up in Smith's Grove Sanitarium and is about to be transferred to a maximum security prison. However, he does eventually escape and goes back to Haddonfield, Illinois to continue his killing spree. And while Laurie Strode, who has been preparing for Myers' return, is now prepared to finish him off once and for all. So this ignores all the previous sequels, if any of you are like caught up on the Halloween movies. So I should get started by telling you that Halloween is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. And the original, I'm sorry if I wasn't being too clear about what Halloween is, but the original Halloween is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. And ever since then, it's just been a classic. And the thing is just that even though this is a direct sequel to the original movie, I think it's great and everything. But one of the main things that deserves praise for this movie is Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode, because she's basically, she's a badass, and I love what changes that she went through. Since her past encounter with Michael, because she's suffering from PTSD, and once you suffer something traumatic, you become really you start to over prepare and everything, and you start to you're afraid of what will happen to your loved ones, and you just, she's afraid that this monster is gonna come back for her and will try to kill her and her family, and she's trying to prevent that. And I love the change that this character has gone through since the original movie. And as for Michael Myers, played by Nick Castle and some other actor, I really liked him in this movie. I love the mask. I would say that's probably the best Michael Myers mask since the original movie, even though the original mask was a William Shatner mask, which they sprayed it white and cut out the eyes. So yeah, and David Gordon Green, who directed this movie, I thought his direction for this movie was fantastic. I wouldn't say it wasn't wasn't as perfect as John Carpenter's. John Carpenter returned this time as the executive producer, while also composing the score for the movie. Although there was two other people who composed the score for him, and I love the new version of the theme, even though it does have a little bit of a beat to it, but it's still the same that we all know and love. Anybody should know what that theme is, and I love this movie. Is it the best one since the original? Without a doubt it is. And I'm really surprised of how this is an improvement over the last couple of movies that we got over the decades. Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2, was pretty good, for my opinion, even though that movie got negative reviews at the time. And H2O was okay. As for 3, I hate 3. 4, I thought it was okay. I liked that as a kid, but the mask for Michael, I just didn't like it. 5, it was bad. And 6, oh, that sucked. Resurrection, what was the point of Resurrection? I honestly don't know. I mean, clearly it was just to make money. And the pointless Rob Zombie remakes. Uh, I don't know, but this one is certainly an improvement over everything that's come out over the years. But, I mean, I love the movie, and I think it's the best one since the original movie. And, like I said, Jamie Lee Curtis is great as always as Laurie. And Michael Myers still remains an intimidating villain and everything. And honestly, I don't have very much else to say because, I mean, there's so much more that I want to talk about, but I'll have to do that in a spoiler review, so yeah. So, final verdict? Well, right before I give it the verdict, as you could expect for this, I mean, for it to be a Halloween sequel, the body count is much higher than the original because only 5 people were killed in the original movie, and this has a higher body count. I'm not gonna tell how many people were killed in the movie because that's technically a spoiler. But I do. And my favorite part in the entire movie is the final showdown between Laurie and Michael. I'm not gonna spoil a damn thing, but it is that good. It is worth your time. I highly recommend this at any price. I mean, I don't think it's in 3D because I honestly don't know what's the point. I mean, what the point of it is. I wanted to see it in IMAX, but I mean, the first time I was gonna see this in theaters, I mean, First Man was playing. I'm gonna try to see First Man sometime. But, well, final verdict, I'm gonna give Halloween 2018 an A+. It is worth your time. If you're a fan of this franchise, I highly recommend that you check this out. And I had a whole lot of fun watching this movie. I mean, I saw it. I mean, I only seen it twice, and well, I saw this. The first time I saw this, I saw it with a couple of my buddies, and the second time I saw this by myself. Just to make the experience much more enjoyable and try to like look for flaws because honestly, I don't have any problem with the movie, but it's that good. It's probably, like I said, it's the best Halloween movie since the original movie, and I love it. So yeah, definitely check this out. And thank you so much for everyone who's like been supporting my channel and everything. You guys are the best. And until next time, have a happy Halloween.